Okay, this is the video for the vocab for the start of the triangle chapter. So the first word we have is a polygon, and a polygon is a closed figure with three or more sides that are all straight. A closed figure with three or more sides that are all straight. So normally I just give you one good picture, but I want to give you a couple pictures just to think about it. If I drew this picture right here, that would not be a polygon because it's not closed. If I draw this picture right here, that would also not be a polygon because not all the sides are straight. So it's got to have at least three sides. They all have to be straight, and it's got to be a closed figure. So this right here would be a polygon. And the reason we talk about a polygon is because we need to know that to be able to define a triangle. A triangle is a three-sided polygon. And I am hoping you know what a triangle looks like. And we are going to name the vertices or the points where the sides meet. And the notation for a triangle is you make a triangle symbol. And for the most part, the order doesn't matter. So you start at whatever letter you want and work your way around the triangle. So there's triangle ABC. All right, there are two different ways that we can classify triangles. And the first way that we can classify triangles is by side length. And so we have a couple choices for side length. The first one is a scalene triangle. A scalene triangle is a triangle with no sides congruent. A triangle with no sides congruent. So if I draw a picture of that, this length has a length of 6, this has a length of 8, and this has a length of 12. None of the sides have the same length, so that makes this triangle scalene. The next one is an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle is a triangle with two or more sides that are congruent. A triangle with two or more sides that are congruent. So if we draw a triangle right here, and we have two sides that are equal, it's not a very good one. I'm going to redraw that. There we go. We have two sides that are equal. That triangle would be isosceles. And then our third way that we can classify a triangle, so we can have no sides congruent, we can have two or more, or we can have all three sides congruent, and that would be an equilateral triangle, where all three sides are congruent. All right, so that's the three ways that you can classify it by side length, just looking at the sides, not worried about the angle measure. There's four ways that we can classify it by angle measure. The first being is an acute triangle. An acute triangle is a triangle with all angles acute. Okay? Acute, remember, means less than 90. So all of the angles are less than 90. So this one right here, let's say this is 60, this is 70, and this is 50. All of these angles are less than 90. That would make it an acute triangle. Okay? An obtuse triangle is a triangle with one obtuse angle. So if this angle here was like 110 degrees, this would be an obtuse triangle because it was greater than 90. But notice for an acute triangle, it's all, but for an obtuse triangle, it's just one. And we'll get into that a little bit later, but in a triangle, all the angles have to add to 180. So if they add to 180, you're only going to be able to get 1 over 90 to be able to make the triangle work. Okay, and then we have a right triangle, and a right triangle is a triangle with one right angle. Okay, and we know right means equal 90. Okay, you don't necessarily have to put what I just wrote there, but just as a reminder. Okay, and then there's a third one, and this is an equiangular triangle. And an equiangular triangle is a triangle with all three angles acute. I said that wrong. All three angles congruent. They do happen to be acute, but they're all congruent, so they all have the same measure. Now, there is one more word on this congruent triangles, but we are going to save that for later because it's the only other vocab word in this chapter, and it's kind of silly to have just a page with one word. So this is all you need for right now.